Hello, welcome to my channel, Wing Spiritual Clarity. My name's Wendy Wing. I'm doing a psychic tarot reading for you, tuning in to the day's energies, seeing what divine messages of guidance come through. This is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. Thank you all so much for your comments and likes and saving and sharing these videos with others. I read all the comments, and it's just such a lovely way to get to know who's out there. And I love how you all are so supportive of each other in the comments as well. So thank you all. What's hidden from the viewer that would be helpful? Thank you. Outcome and advice. Alrighty, let's turn these cards over, see what we've got here. Alright, in the overall energy, we had two cards that came up upright, and then we have three cards coming out in a challenge to those energies. So in the overall energy, wow, Queen of Swords and the Ace of Swords. Queen of Swords is somebody who has cleared the confusion. See how the clouds are clearing when higher up on her body. So she's come to some type of clarity. Where there once was confusion, she can now see clearly. It looks like this information, there's a butterfly on the tip of her sword. It feels like this truthful energy has been very transformational. Her willingness to see through the clouds of confusion. Maybe it's also been difficult to communicate this confusing, 12:12 on the clock. Maybe it's been confusing and hard to explain and hard to understand what's been going on. But now there's this ace energy as well coming in. New energy, seeing things clearly. In the challenge, we've got the Ace of Wands, a spark, vitality, excitement. It feels like it's been a challenge to find that, to end a cycle, to find new energy, a new spark of vitality. I get it. Lovers, choice. Well, this could be relationship type of energy. It feels like there's been this inner discernment, whoever I'm talking to, that you have. This energy that I'm picking up off of the Queen of Swords is a very solid inner discernment. You're not suffering fools. It feels like people can say what they want, but you are deciding what is accurate and what is not accurate for you, what's relevant for you. What does the viewer need to know about this energy? It looks like you've been healing from a mother wound. Ooh, I'm also talking with judgment coming out. It feels like you have had awakenings. That's why this internal perceptions opening up, a lot of clarity. This type of clarity, once you see it, you can't unring that bell. Consciousness. Once you see something and the reality of what it is, it feels like you can't unring that bell. Feels like you've become more and more conscious. Feels like you've asked for this because life has been very confusing for that Queen of Swords. other people telling you what life is, who you are, what this place is. It feels like there's been a lot of shoulds. You should do this, and you should show up like this, and you should. And my teacher, my psychic teacher was Miwa Mack from Boulder Psychic Institute. And she just put out a video about expectations and how violent the energy of expectations are. Like, I'm expecting everything needs to show up this way so I can feel comfortable, so I can feel good. And how when things don't go as expected, there's a lack of resilience. Yeah, I can feel what she's tuning into, violence and aggression that expectations bring. So that's an interesting that came into the reading. Feels like you have woken up. You have seen through the confusion. I'm even hearing purposeful confusion. You know what? This honesty, this being able to see things clearly, does not make you a popular person. A lot of times the truth teller is the one that's someone who can see the truth, see the reality, speak on it, is not the most popular kid in the, not that we're in a popularity show, but it feels like this has been difficult. Maybe in your life you've been the truth teller. You've been the one that sees something and addresses it, and making others who are not interested in the truth or just wanting to fit in, go with the flow, even if it's a toxic flow, then someone coming in, viewer, and seeing the truth, the reality, and talking about that is it feels like it puts a mirror up to people who aren't interested in ever looking in that mirror. So I think it has been challenging for you to find what makes you excited about life, and end this old cycle that feels like it's been attached to a mother wound around being abandoned, trying to fit in, trying to get the environment and people to care about you. Oh, this is an interesting predicament. Being a truth teller, someone who sees things differently than others, than the family, than the society, than the environment that you were raised in, where everybody feels pretty comfortable to just go with the flow, to fit in. And it feels like what I'm tuned into is someone who's just, you were never meant to fit in to those environments. And it's also, I'm seeing, not your job to wake those people up. As a matter of fact, it looks like a lot of you chose, on a soul level, chose the family of origin and in the region that you were in the world, wanted specifically to not fit in. And with people who refuse to see things the way you see them, it creates an atmosphere where you don't belong, you don't fit in. You've got one foot in this truth and the reality, how you're seeing it, and then you need to fit into your environment, into a family. And so it's like there's two worlds, two realities going on, which seems very confusing and upsetting. it splits your consciousness, and it feels like you then learn how to play a role, a part. Maybe everybody's masking. Maybe everybody is playing a part to fit into this. Wow, such specific answers. Anything else that's happening currently that the viewer needs to know about? I think it's been difficult for you not only to end this cycle, to understand yourself, to understand why you're seeing things differently than others. It looks like you've been transmuting a lot of energies, alchemizing, healing from a guardedness, a necessary guardedness, not fabricated or made up, because your energy, clarity, truth, feels like there's been a lot of activity here in your family of origin societies to try to quiet you, try to get you to just fit in, go with the flow. Now it looks like you've healed from a lot of that childhood trauma, that need to fit in. You've been alchemizing energies. It feels like you're healing from that guardedness, that defensiveness, understanding yourself more. Yeah, it's been a challenge to understand why you're here. This feels like an existential crisis. Oh, Tower, Moon reversed. Okay, so this feels shocking. Something that's hidden is coming to light. Moon reversed. Something from the subconscious, something from the shadows, something unseen, unfelt, you don't know what you don't know, but something's coming to light. This feels like a lot of emotions too. Towers are happening for us. False realities collapse so we can deal with the truth, with what's really going on. What's this tower? What does the viewer need to know about this tower coming in? Magician reversed. Someone's trying to block, manipulate, control through fear. This is so interesting. This feels like what is the word for this? This feels big in the universe, in the world. Someone or people who want to block this consciousness, keep in that fear and control. Stop that truth. It feels like this tower and magician in reverse energy, someone has been trying to block the truth, block this consciousness. Feels like they're appealing to people's emotions, maybe fear. What do we need to know about this magician reversed energy? It's a lot of cards. Can we say it in a pithy way? Is there a Cliff Notes version to this message? Thank you. Page of Pentacles, Seven of Swords. So of half the deck. There's an opportunity coming in. Ace of Pentacles is like a seed. For some of you, I'm seeing this like a new pathway opening up. There's a need to be tactical, to keep it to yourself. This isn't for social media. This isn't to tell everybody. This isn't for your ego. This is happening for you. Feels like you've been prepping for whatever this is. There's some type of opposition energy here. For some of you, you might be feeling this opposition within yourself, in your unconscious. Feels like uncomfortable truths, uncomfortable ways, like being able to see in your blind spot and see uncomfortable aspects about yourself. It looks like there are people who do not want that ride, that are not interested in facing uncomfortable truths about themselves. They can't. There's like anything other than facing that mirror. It looks like there's an opportunity coming in for you. Be tactical. Keep things to yourself. Seven of Swords. This person is sneaking into the enemy's encampment at night when they're not expecting anything, and they're taking 5 of the 7 swords. They're leaving 2. Swords are upper chakras, as I perceive them, communication or thoughts. And so if you're going behind enemy lines around people who are not for you, say less. I get the feeling it's just don't broadcast whatever this new opportunity is. It feels like it's huge. It feels like you want to share it with everybody. Like, it's weird. I'm getting this prove it type of energy that could come through from your ego. Like, aha! I told you! I told you. Something like that could happen. It's that good. There's 3 aces in this reading. Ace of Wands as a challenge to this overall energy, your excitement. I think it's that excitement. It's a challenge to not... It feels like you're wanting to like scream this from the rooftops because it's very validating of who you are and where you've been. But every message I'm getting here is like just marinate in this energy and allow this energy to grow. It is a seed which needs to be planted in the correct soil and nourished with water and care to let it grow. Oh my gosh, this feels like, now that I'm tuned into this, there is this worry of someone else blocking it, and I think there is that potential. If you rush to talk about whatever this seed is, instead of be mindful, let it take some root. Don't... Yeah, this feels so exciting. This feels like surprise party, wishes granted, better than expected. Oh my gosh, this is better than expected type of energy. Like co-creating with the universe. And you're like, yeah, I would like this. And then the universe is like, oh yeah? How about this? And you're like, oh my gosh, that's so amazing. So it does feel like a tower. Like this also clears like any limitations that you've had about who you are It feels amazing, amazing energies. All right, in what's hidden, we've got the Nine of Wands. Second time it's shown up. It showed up in the overall energy, but in reverse. The Hanged Man reverse and Queen of Cups. A lot of Queen energy here. What I'm getting is when I'm perceiving Queens in the tarot deck, it's more internal. It's not taking action on this. It's like an internal shift. Because of your willingness to wake up, to see things, to be yourself, be dedicated to the energies of truth, feels like this is coming through for you. What's the Nine of Wands and what's hidden? It's a very defensive, protective energy, guarded. It looks like when you're fearful, this makes sense. When you are fearful, defensive, it's hard for you to tune into your higher self, your high priestess energy. Feels like what I'm getting to in the first part of this message and what's hidden is kind of acknowledging that you've been on a journey and you weren't able to see this energetically or otherwise. Feels like this aspect, there's something about you viewer, that's been hidden. And it feels like you're aware of this part of you, but it doesn't feel like others have really been able to perceive this part of you. Maybe because they've been so busy trying to get you to stop telling the truth, to put down that very clarifying mirror. It looks like you've needed to work through and show yourself that you're safe, heal through something very painful and difficult emotions, like the mother wound, healing from abandonment, neglect. Yeah, okay. It looks like you've gone no contact with some people who just, they can't perceive this aspect of you. This aspect of you that's being revealed, that you are stepping into. It feels like there's someone from your family of origin. For some of you, it's literally a mother, but there's this mother wound, jealousy, someone very envious. And it doesn't matter what you say or try to convince, this person just can't perceive you. And I think you've needed to see that. They're not for you. They can't perceive you. Feels like you've spent a lot of time and energy trying to create a connection and heal the relationship. But really on a soul level, this person can't see you. Feels like you on a soul level chose a family of origin that's so dense and so dark that they could never perceive you, so you would not receive all the love and care and support from your family of origin. So eventually you would have to go within to find your answers, to wake up, to perceive that part of yourself that you were kind of hiding away because no one else was acknowledging that part of you. All right. Looks like you were raised to be an overgiver and you're not overgiving anymore. Yeah, it feels like people spend a lot of time. This feels like trauma dumping on you, creating trauma for you and dumping their trauma onto you And it feels like you weren't allowed to complain, or you didn't understand what was really going on. You're a very capable person, and you are very uplifting naturally with your energy. But it looks like a lot of people were benefiting off of you in the background, your discomfort. Ooh, a lot of people. Okay, so there are people, abusive, neglectful people that I'm seeing that have actively hurt you in an environment. And then there are the enablers, those who let it happen. Didn't say anything to those who were creating this situation. This reminds me of a short story. I've brought it up once before, called Those Who Leave Amalas. It's a 20-minute listen on YouTube. I think I even found it there. And it feels like you were the family secret, the one that people leaned on, depended on, but at the same time, they're also really taking advantage of you, burdening you, not caring, but they benefit from you being made the scapegoat. Wow. It looks like you've focused on your heart, on what makes you you. Feels like you've done everything you can to try to create connection and understanding. But at this point, it looks like you're focusing on something you want. Something you really, really, really want. On a soul level, What is this? What's hidden? What does the viewer need to know about the Queen of Cups? Oh, okay. You're just so focused on what you're creating. And it feels like whoever these people are that I've been describing, they're very nervous. They're nervous about you healing. They're nervous because they don't have access to you. Because it feels like these people, when they had access to you, they could burden you and have you give up whatever you're working towards. They were able to, this kind of has some sabotaging energy. People were able in the past to get you to stop focusing on what you're focusing on. And they can't do that anymore. Definitely crabs in a bucket. That's been coming up a lot in reading. Sabotage. It just doesn't look like it's, even looking at the energies, it's just chaos. And it looks like you are just focusing on yourself, on what you're creating. There's this emotional maturity here, the energy of truth. This all looks really good. I don't see anything. Ten of Swords, but in reverse. It feels like a painful cycle has ended. You're not allowing people to sabotage you, to get in your energy. And whatever this wowzer, mind-blowing energy that comes in better than expected, there's definitely, when I'm tuning into this overall energy, it's going to be so hard to not share this. Like, this is jackpot. This is, it has this quality to it, more than just jackpot, more like, I knew it. I told you so, kind of all over it, but that's coming from the ego. So that's not going to be helpful. You don't want to spread that energy, but it feels like something you want to nurture into existence. Don't share it yet. The time will come Wow. Wow. All right. In the outcome and advice, we've got this Hierophant energy, Taurus energy. Yeah, there's a real need to bring this in, ground whatever this opportunity is into this reality. What's the, there's some keys. It's like you're opening up to a part of yourself, or a part of yourself is stepping forward. You've unlocked. Now it feels like the more the more you have validated this part of you that's coming up, that's stepping forward, taking the lead. It's like you're teaching others by your example. You might be creating a new tradition. Wow, Four of Wands. This definitely has celebration all over it. Four of Wands is stepping through a portal, a celebration to the next level. It's grounded into this reality with that Hierophant energy. Feels very stable with these columns behind him. And there are definitely people that are going to perceive this joy. It feels like it's hard not to pass it by. I'm just getting in this current energy when it first comes in. Yes, celebrate with you, but kind of keep things to yourself until it creates more of assurance. Yeah, give it some time. It feels like eventually this seed will grow, and people, you won't be able to hide it. And that's when it doesn't feel like there's so much here. It's so exciting and so wonderful. And it isn't about, you can never share this, and you can do whatever you want. What I'm getting is, enjoy this. Enjoy this. On a soul level, and maybe let your ego take a break, because eventually everybody feels like they will be able to see this wonderful news. And by then, someone can't magician reverse and block this for you. So, wow. All right, that's your reading. I hope that was helpful. Thank you so much for being here.